So welcome back. This is the second video. We are trying to learn a standard procedure that we are able, if we follow it, then we will try our best to get the maximum amount of marks or more marks from this scenario question. So we will have to write a standard way that we are able to follow for every scenario question. So like we said in the previous video recording, we will try to list all the variables listed here. So of course, definitely we need to look and try to understand what this code is about actually in the first place. So if we look here, we will find that we are talking about rooms in a house of up to 200 rooms in a house. So this rooms array, it is going to carry names, and there is almost 20 rooms. I apologize, not 200. So this is 20 rooms in a house, okay? So the array can carry up to 20 rooms, okay? We are focusing not really trying to understand, because we would like to test our procedure on more scenario questions, so we don't want to waste time more here. But we still need to understand. If we look here, this is dimension, this is a 2D array. So it will store what? It will store length, width, and area. So most probably, we talk about three different data that we're going to store inside, which means that we are talking about 3 columns, most probably. So on every row, so we're storing length, width, and area. That will not affect the steps what we are doing at the moment, but just a way for us to understand. So we look at here the variable number stores the number of rooms, which is for which data is to be input. So there must be at least 3 rooms, but not more than 20 rooms. So it means that this is our set variable, which is called number, and it will carry values between 3 and 20. So by doing so, I actually managed to get the first requirement. So the first requirement for us, or the procedure that we're going to follow, is actually to list down all the array names and the variable name given in the question. So as we said, we have rooms, we have dimensions, which is a 2D array that will carry a row that contains 3 columns here, okay? And then the number that it will store the number of rooms to be entered from 3 to 20. So definitely when you are in the exam, you don't need to write these definitions. You need to only focus and list your variable names like that. So that is not a part of the requirement for the exam itself. So they don't require you to do that, but that is for us to try to adapt the template that I am going to show you to fit inside the code. So we depend, after listing those variables, we depend on that. We try to create templates that we are able to grab and then modify and use the names of the variables that we managed to capture from here. Okay, so it is possible, because maybe you don't have too much time, you just mark your variables or list it out. I prefer listing it out, because to avoid confusion and to make it fast for you to move forward. So I will move to the second step after listing down all the array and variable names given in the question. We will move to the next list, next step, which is to actually search all the requirements for common algorithms. So we have common algorithms in the IGCSE syllabus. One of them, or some of them, is validation, average, total, how to find the minimum and maximum values from an array, sorting, linear search. So averaging and totaling, all this is actually common algorithms that we have a code for. I also created some templates that if you memorize it, then you're able to grab it and then immediately insert it in the place to solve the exam question. So definitely when we grab a common algorithm, we have to really do some little modification, okay? But the most important is that we try to see what kind of algorithm he is requiring from us. So we need to mark that. So we check here that we find that one of the first requirements here is that he is asking to do a validation. So what is a validation that is going to happen here? He's saying checking the number of rooms that is entered between 3 and 20. So if we look back at the question, we will actually find that this part was mentioned actually here. Okay, so he's saying that the numbers must be between 3 rooms and not more than 20 rooms. And if you look at the first requirement, he say allows the number of rooms for the data for which data is required to be input, stored, and validated. So we captured the word validation from here. So we know that he wants the input that is going to be stored inside the variable name to be actually validated. So validation, we have a validation algorithm that we would like to adopt here. So we have a template for this validation, and then we're going to start to actually use it. So, so we should not stop once we find the validation and start to code. So we need to figure out, we need to collect out or list out all the possible algorithms that we're going to use. So we here find validation. We here find that there is an average algorithm that need to be used. So it means that we are calculating the average size of all the rooms based on the area. So that is, yeah. So in the 2D array, you will find that there is a specific column that is going to store the area. So we need to deal with that part later. We also need to find the minimum and maximum. So we're going to use the minimum and maximum algorithm and the standard algorithm that we have, and we need to modify it and adapt it to the requirement here. So so by highlighting that you will need to find the smallest and largest room by area, it means that you need to find the minimum max. You need to use minimum maximum algorithm. So that is the second step that we're going to use. So as we said, we might miss certain parts in the answer, definitely, because that is a question that needs some time to think. But our strategy here is not for senior programmers. I'm not addressing senior or good programmers. No, I'm addressing only weak programmers and possibly slow learners. Okay, so I will stop the video and do another recording.